Like I said, in the Constitution and in the Code of Conduct for Public Officials and Employees, it's a guarantee that anybody who wants access to the SALN should be able to get these documents within reasonable time and with reasonable charge. There are no preconditions for the granting of these SALNs to the public. And I say the public, not just the journalists. However, reviewing the recommendations that was approved by the House, the recommendations to the committee, it looks like at least 3 layers of approvals are forthcoming. First of all, the review committee has to approve that application, and also the congressman who owns the SALN also has to give his approval. And thirdly, the plenary has to give its approval. So in effect, we're adding 3 layers of approval to something that is in fact guaranteed by the Constitution.
Let me correct that impression.
Yes, sir.
The layer that you are mentioning, Ed, is not really there, no? Because, like for example, the office of the Secretary General, he is like a clerk who simply receives
Yes,
the
sir.
request.
He's a custodian.
Yeah, the request will be will be referred to the SALN
Review committee.
SALN Review and Compliance Committee. That's the body
Yes, sir.
that
The
will
8
really,
congressmen.
really see the application.
Ito yung first ano.
Then if the congressman will be notified that his SALN is being requested. If the congressman says, okay, go on, give, it will be given automatically. But if the congressman says, no, I am not willing to have my SALN given to this party, that's the time that we have to avoid arbitrariness in the issuance, in the denial of the SALN application. Because while it may be true that the congressman says no, but if the committee sees that it's not because his privacy is threatened, his security is threatened, his performance, the performance of his obligation is undermined as member or officer of a committee, or the institution itself is undermined, then the SALN Review and Compliance Committee will release it, even against the wishes of the congressman.
Without going to the plenary.
Yes.
When
Now-
does it go to
now,
plenary?
It goes to the plenary. If still the congressman says, no, I will have to oppose that, then that's the time. Okay, we'll bring it to the plenary.
Well, then obviously, if he says no at the first instance, then obviously it goes to the plenary. He will not say, no, what do you think? We think we want to release it. Oh, okay. No, of course, at the first instance he says no, automatically or effectively, that will inevitably go to the plenary.
But of course, we have to understand, Ruby, that the problem now is not with the institution or the rule. The problem is with the congressman.
Yes, but we are replacing...
It's not
Yes,
on the
but-
procedure.
But this is where the cynicism...
It's because the congressman does not want his SALN to be
Yes.
released.
And you will-
And in fact, he is provided with a venue
Yes.
where he could ventilate
Yes, but you
his
will,
grievances.
you will agree, sir, that where the cynicism of the public lies
That's
is in
why-
the idea that you are replacing supposed arbitrariness with the ultimate, inevitable, and very real politics in the House of Representatives. This will be, I mean, I'm reading the minds of the public here, which is not very, very hard to read. They are now thinking, hey, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You hide my back, I'll hide yours. It will not be in the interest of any member of the House of Representatives to approve the release of a SALN of any of its members.
You are correct there in saying that it will be hard for the public. That's why we need to educate the public that they should not prejudge the performance of the duties of the members of the House. Now, I will follow you there, Ruby. You know, in Congress, we are the most maligned public official. even in our teleserye. Congressmen, unlike governors, unlike mayors, they are portrayed as villains, head of drug syndicate, or any other nefarious activities. That's why, because of this impression that is generated from our environment, there is prejudgment as to the conduct and the fidelity of the congressmen in the performance of their duties. Again, let's now go to the plenary. In the plenary, it's not our business to protect any of our peers. It goes with the saying that while it may be true that there are snakes in the House of Representatives, but not everybody is a snake.
Yung iba crocodile.
Crocodile? Again, that's part of the prejudgment and bias
But
that we have.
You have to admit that the prejudgment is not entirely without basis, right?
Well, we should not. You may be correct there, but we should not generalize.
Yes, sir.
But
Well,
going
sir,
to the threats you mentioned, the threats, because people are talking about what might threaten a congressman by releasing details of his SALN to the public. You mentioned threat to the privacy, threat to, it might undermine the institution, and what is the other one? Those are very broad areas which can be open to personal interpretation, which can be invoked by any congressman to say, no, I don't want to release my SALN. And you can easily say that he's within his right, and you requesting person have to exercise responsibility in requesting.
I will follow you that
Yeah.
indeed it's broad to be exploited by any congressman for that matter. That's why you are there to tell him you're wrong.
Can a congressman even say no under the Constitution to the release of something that's supposed
At
to be
his own
public
risk,
record?
let him say no.
So bakit pa tayo nagkaroon
At
ng
his own
plenary
risk.
and review?
Because as
committee?
I said, it is a venue where the requesting party may appeal.
Okay.
So that whether the denial of SALN is not left to the entire judgment of the particular congressman concerned.
Let me get back to something you said. Para lang po malinaw. You said earlier, if you're a journalist, if you are a member of the press, you are accredited by however you define a legitimate journalist. If you're a legitimate journalist, automatic, guaranteed, pagka nag-request ka ng SALN ng kahit sinong congressman, makukuha mo. Did we get that correctly?
Yes. Because your identity has already been established.
What about civil society? What about members of the academe?
That's why we have questionnaires being asked in the request form that will have to be seen. Who are you to identify the requesting party?
What about taxpayers?
Of course, in the absence.
Of course, what? It's a legitimate exercise on their part,
Of
or they have
course,
to go through this
the
whole process?
public in general, they are allowed, unless, however, that there is suspicion that you are going to use it illegitimately.